Welcome back to Weekly Briefing. Joe Biden issued a warning to Russian President Putin about possibly invading Ukraine. Biden said an invasion would ultimately change the world.
There will be enormous consequences if he were to go in and invade, as he could, the entire country, or a lot less than that as well, for Russia, not only in terms of economic consequences and political consequences, but there'll be enormous consequences worldwide. This would be the largest, if he were to move in with all those forces, it would be the largest invasion since World War II. It would change the world.
Thank you, guys.
Dr. Shea, so if he's right, why is he allowing it to happen?
I fell asleep yesterday listening to the State Department talk about this because it's a whole lot of bluff. What are these severe consequences? He's been talking about economic sanctions. He's put 8,500 troops on alert. Well, these troops are set out to defend our NATO allies. Well, guess what? Ukraine is not a NATO ally. So what is he going to do with those troops exactly? It's been brought up that they think that they have some sort of control over the situation with Russia because of Nord Stream 2. I don't think that's so. We have seen that Russia manipulates the EU and the United States by withholding natural gas from the EU. I talked about this last week, but in this month, Russia has decreased the supply of natural gas to Europe by 41% this month as compared to last month. So I think all the blundering and bluffing is just to make some sort of noise. What's the point of it?
Do you think he's right about the fact that it would be the biggest invasion or invasion of sovereignty, certainly since World War II?
It would be certainly a geopolitical shift. But I guess what I'm concerned about is what the United States is going to do about it. There's a lot of things that are at stake. Again, Nord Stream 2, the gas coming through into Europe. And I just think that the Biden administration is not equipped to handle it. So it's hard to even discuss what could occur because we're not going to war with Russia.
Okay. Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson hosted a COVID-19 expert panel this week. The panel featured doctors and physicians who broke down the country's existing public health situation. Dr. Pierre Corey blasted the federal government, saying its COVID response has been directly tied to big pharmaceutical companies.
If you look at these innumerable failed policies, there's only one way to understand them. They are literally written by pharmaceutical companies. Almost every single policy serves the interest of a pharmaceutical company. However, if you look outside the United States and look around the world, there have been numerous successes.
Is he right, Chris?
He is very right, and I think that we're going to find out. It's going to take time, in part because pharmaceutical firms and Health and Human Services, the FDA, other government agencies are dragging their feet on the production of records concerning the entire approach, whether it's the vaccine drive, whether it's other public policy, things like masks. It's going to take time to uncover all the records, and that's what they rely on. They rely on exhausting the public and fatigue setting in and you not being willing to pursue and follow. The problem is there's an organization called Judicial Watch.
I was going to say, no one knows that better than Judicial Watch.
And that's what we do for a living, is pursue these things for years and years and years, and so we will. We'll end up writing the history on this when we get all the records and documents. It's going to be really ugly. And the American public has been lied to repeatedly. They've been manipulated. They've turned public policy into propaganda. The face mask is the MAGA hat of the left, right? And so in the long term, we will see that Dr. Corey and his other colleagues who've been trying to tell the truth, who've been trying to give a reasoned, truly scientific explanation, will be upheld. They'll be seen as the truth tellers, and the American public having been really victimized by an establishment medical autocracy. It's time will tell.
All right, very good. A New York State Supreme Court judge shut down Governor Kathy Hochul's statewide mask mandate as citing she needs the legislature to pass the mandate. That didn't stop her from telling parents to ignore that decision and keep masking their children.
I'm encouraging parents and students to continue doing what they're doing because the last thing I want to see is a different trend because people gave up on the masks early. Now, I am so looking forward to the day to say these are history. We don't have to do this any longer. All of us are. I don't want to keep any requirements for safety in place a day longer than necessary, but I will not do it a day before we can do it safely.
Now, this issue still is going through the courts, and there's a current stay on the order, so there's legal issues with it. But ultimately, doesn't she actually need the legislature in order to make law?
I thought you did. In every other situation you do. And the thing about it is these masks have become, and our children become weapons right now.
Yeah.
And it's not just in New York, it's in Virginia as well. And as Chris just talked about, I think the nation is fatigued right now. And even with the pharmaceutical companies in terms of telling us what we should do, it was one point the cloth mask was okay. But now you got to have a K95 mask, which means now they're going to get paid because now we have to go out and try to scramble and get this K95 or N95 mask.
And no one's actually enforcing that either. Like, as long as you have something on.
It bounced this against the United Kingdom, which has said, forget it, we're done with masks.
Yeah.
I mean, how can both things be true?
Right.
And the United Kingdom is a very sophisticated, very savvy operation. They know medically, governmentally, and they've said, look, we're done. We can't take it anymore.
Yeah, hopefully we see that come here. But all right, it is time for the lightning round. Here we have 2.5 minutes to give the panelists each 10 seconds to answer and get through as many questions as possible. We'll start with Derrick. Democrats keep slipping up on hot mics. Who would you criticize on a hot mic, and what would you say?
I would call Biden a jerk.
Okay.
No comment.
Chris will never be caught on a hot mic. Okay.
Yeah, I do my very best not to be caught on a hot mic, so we're not starting here.
Okay.
Okay, let's go, Brandon.
Donna says that anyway. Okay, a woman got sick after getting out of her car to help a truck full of lab monkeys that got into a car accident. Is this something to be concerned about, Derrick?
Absolutely. And why you get out of your car messing with some monkeys?
I don't think she knew they were monkeys.
Obscure sci-fi movie reference, 12 monkeys.
I've gotten out of my car to help people who have been victims, but I can't see doing monkeys.
Did Dr. Fossey fund this?
Yeah, like who put those monkeys in the car? Okay, President Donald Trump was golfing, and folks at the course referred to him as the 45th and 47th president while golfing. Is America ready for Trump 2.0?
I don't think America is on a whole, but Republicans are.
I agree.
What I wouldn't give right now to put President Trump back in office with this mess. Oh.
I think Americans are definitely ready. 47.
Yeah, let's get him back. Okay, a Rasmussen poll revealed that 58% of voters believe the mainstream media is the enemy of the people. Are they right?
Absolutely.
Yes, they are.
Of course, yeah.
That's why we need more outlets, because the media is too one-sided.
Exactly. Okay. Quickly, Canadian truck drivers are protesting oppressive industry regulations on their caravan to Ottawa. Are they the new heroes?
They should be.
And maybe it'll happen here.
Mm-hmm. I think it's great. More and more people are protesting.
Yeah. Let's go, Brandon.
All right, don't go anywhere. When we come back from the break, we'll cover which topics our panel thinks is important. We'll be right back.